Good morning, everyone. March the 22nd, 2016. Time to kick off another trading day. And as usual, we come into the market with mixed markets, basically a little up, a little bit down around the globe. No major moves expected. This in spite of a terrorist attack in Brussels and their subway systems, their train systems, and their airport that has left 13 dead so far. This genie that has been loosed from its bottle continues to wreak havoc. And it's when you look at the changes to everybody's life in the Western world, the Middle East, Asia, just really around the globe, that started with Yasser Arafat and what he did to airline travel back in the 70s. I mean, it has escalated right now, and with ISIS or ISIL or Daesh or Al Qaeda, or I mean, just you name the groups, or they're myriad. Legion comes with 1,000 heads in this case. It's escalating, and they're really they go after symbolic targets that affect a lot of people with the one express purpose of creating terror, and they're very, very effective at it. So Brussels arrests the guy that was supposedly or alleged to be behind the murders in Paris 3 or 4 months ago, and then the very next day and he was arrested in Brussels, or right outside of Brussels, or Belgium, and right the very next day we get terrorist attacks in 3 or 4 places in Belgium. So the battle continues, and not going to be over, and political correctness will not win this battle. In fact, they use political correctness against us. Okay, resistance starts at 12, support starts at the buck. That's the way we'll play it. 01, 29 to 01 is buy 1. 21 to 25 buy 2. We don't have a lot of news to move things today. Resistance is at 12 to 16, so the sells 11 to 15, then 19 to 23. Today's news: FHFA housing price index plus 0.6. That probably will come in as forecast. PMI manufacturing index at 52.4. That one could come in lower than forecast, and that would be the major news focus. And then Richmond Fed unchanged at 0. So markets PMI flash manufacturing. In Europe, the manufacturing PMIs were lower than forecast across the board. Their service PMIs were higher than forecast across the board. So we still see that manufacturing is contracting, offset by increases in the service sector. And a lot of people read this as, well, it can't go on, it can't go on, can't go on. But if you look at manufacturing with the improved productivity and all else that has been brought to bear on it, they are making more with less. So continued contraction in manufacturing employment relative to the amount of goods put out should be continued. I do think globally that the economy is still showing signs of slowing, and at some point it'll hit the service sector too. Okay, we've rejected prices above 14. We've got volume at 10, so 10 to 14 is resistance. We'll make 11 to 15, sell 1. It's very, very close. And if we get through that, 23 to 27. On the buy side, London's low is 28, so 25 to 29 buy 1. If the E-mini rallies back, Treasury should sell. And then we'll make 13 to 17 buy 2. Trying to pick up this volume area over in here. And the lazy man's way to do it, you see this high volume number right here at 12, you'd have a limit buy at 13. That would be off structure. And you can't take high volume numbers out without a piece of news. On the top side, you'd have a limit sell at 23. against this high volume area right there. Okay, a little planning for today. I've got to get an MRI and then an appointment with the doctor thereafter, and so I have to leave here at about 10:30 Central. It's going to be hard to be back before the 2 o'clock update. So there will be no 11, 12, and 1 o'clock updates. I should be back for the wrap up at 2 o'clock. And hopefully they'll just say pulled muscle and an inflamed rotator cuff. No damage. So anyway, that's the hope. Okay, gold rallies helped by the explosions in Brussels. And you can see right now we've got a seller at 60 and we've got a buyer at 40, and right now we're at 50, kind of right in the middle. So our buy zone is 45 to 40, buy 1 44 46, buy 2 39 to 41. On the sell side, 55 57, sell 1, 60 62, sell 2. Several articles out about how India has re-entered the gold purchase market. They like that stuff. And in countries and economies that are as corrupt and as unstable as can be, and I'm not saying that about India, the corruption certainly, then gold is a store of wealth, and people manage to get some of their savings and assets into gold. And India and China are two of the biggest buyers, retail-wise, in the world. So India was cited in a couple of articles of having re-entered the physical or cash market for gold. Okay, looking at the euro, we've got, God, I wish I could read this. Support probably at 112 even to 112.25, and probably resistance 112, at least 60. So we'll open it up a little bit. The Brussels attacks won't help the euro, but those are behind us, and it happened in P period, as you can see. And so we'll make a 12 set 27.75, sell 1, 12, say 113 even, sell 2. We'll just let the market come to us, not get in too big a hurry. Obviously 50 is the first price point we have to get through, so we'll put a question mark at 50. If 50 holds and we start lower, you want to be short. Crude continues to hold in well. Terrorist attack in Brussels because it's locally grown and because it's ISIS or ISIL's backed. Who can you go bomb in the Middle East to revenge that aren't being bombed right now? So the price of oil should not really be too much affected by the Brussels attack. You know, if that were to change, if it were state sponsored by, you could put Iran's fingerprint on it, or Egypt's fingerprint on it, or Jordan's, or whomever, then there's a possibility that state could be attacked, and if they were oil producers, it would impact the price of oil. But we still, this 41.75 area to 42 is pretty good resistance, and that's where we wanted to get short. So 41.50, 41.75, sell 1. Then 42, 42 and a quarter, sell 2. It's been bought below 40.50. So 40.50, 40.75 buy one, and then 40 and a quarter buy two. Still think that we want to be sellers at 42 and above for a trade back to 39 over time. That gap will fill. And it'll happen quickly, so you can't sit back. Well, I'll put it on when the market starts to move that way. It's one of those things where you get to 42, you put a short on, or buy a put, a 39 put, and get out of the way and just see what happens. It's an idea. Haven't been proven wrong, but it's yet to develop. Okay, the E-mini is interesting today. I still think it's pretty easy to get stops above 2050. We're there, but we haven't made it yet. And when you look at the structure of the market, right now we've got an outside day. You can see that we're having trouble in this 2045, 2050 area. Getting through it. We have this spill over here from 2055, so 2050 plus or minus is resistance right now, and the market is trying to come up. The breakout came from the 2020 area, 2025. So 2020, 2023, pretty good support. 44 to 50 is pretty good resistance right now. Don't have the news that can break it out, in my opinion. And so we've got the London high right here. Put all this together. S would probably be a little more accurate for a potential move out of the middle. And here's the explosion right here in P and Q. The attack in Brussels. So we'll make, I don't think today's news really plays, so 26 to 31 buy one. And then 18 to 23 by 2. Pick up this high right here. We've got this break right down here at 19. We've got volume at 20. On the sell side, 39s to 44s. And 49 to 54 for sell 2. And this morning's news, FHFA housing index up 0.6. That probably will come in as forecast. Markets PMI manufacturing index 52.4 could come in lower. I've seen forecasts for 51.5. Competing services. And Richmond Fed unchanged to -1. And it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy at it. I will be back as soon as possible.